Um, my motor belongs inside my van, but it's outside the van. So I guess we got to talk about it.
A couple things I just want to say, because I might forget them. I doubt it, because I'm going to make 12 videos about this. I don't care what car you drive, van, car, vehicle. This is a lesson I've learned. I've been fixing cars all my life, and what happened here is definitely something I know was I know it was lethal. If somebody had said to me, there's water or coolant getting into your oil right now as we speak, I would have turned my keys off and I would not have moved. So I know it's lethal. However, let's get to the point. I did not know that water was leaking, pouring into my oil, creating a very non-friction state within the motor where you have metal on metal. So here's my point. Check your oil, not to see if it's low, not to smell if it's dirty, although these are, listen, check your oil, check your coolant, check your oil. If there is water in the oil and the oil is mixing together because the crankshaft is smashing everything together like a big food grinding mixer, a blender, you're going to get a very creamy coffee with a lot of milk. That's what you're going to get. That's what you get. You're going to see it under your oil cap. You'll see it on the dipstick. You change your oil. What was happening to me, I had no idea it was happening. By the time, I couldn't even tell you that I knew what was happening. I can't even say by the time I knew what was happening. I can't even say that. All I know is I was losing heat. And for decades, when you lose heat, when I lose heat in a vehicle, usually typically means the coolant is running low. You could have a leak in your coolant system, anything like that, okay? Wow. First I was freezing and now I'm sweating. So you could have, usually it's low coolant, low water, whatever, in your cooling system. If you fill it back up, you pour liquid in there, water, antifreeze mix preferably, you will get heat. Assuming your heat, listen, you'll get heat. That's how you know you're low on fluid. If you don't get heat, you get other issues. Now, that happened to me. I lost my heat. I had raging, roaring heat inside of this vehicle, and all of a sudden, I'm losing it. Okay, I add water. Bam! I got heat. I said, okay, that's weird. You know, I got nothing leaking on the ground. Here's the punchline here. I got nothing leaking on the ground. What's the problem? Well, where's my water going? So I lose heat again. This is all within just a couple of hours. I'm losing heat. It was probably seconds. I just didn't realize it. I don't know. Put more water in. I'm losing heat again. By this time, what's happening to my motor is already catastrophic. I do not know that this is happening. Let's skip ahead to the future. When this motor is rebuilt, put back together in the vehicle, and the vehicle's running, I will forever be paranoid about water in my oil. Hey, it's life. It's a stigma now. Water in my oil, dirty oil. Listen, this is your home. It's not like an apartment or a house. This is your vehicle and your house. So, you're going to care for this thing like you would your own heart. Well, you know what? Scratch that, because people don't do that. Do not care for this vehicle the way you do for your own physical body. Please do not do that. Duh. It was catastrophic. I did not know it was happening. Had I known it was happening, had I had a clue it was happening, that vehicle would have shut off immediately. Immediately, I would have tore everything apart like I did. I took the intake off because I read that it's a common issue with the Chevy 305, 350 Vortec motors. I don't know about the 4.3s. I have no idea. That the intake manifold will spring a leak, and at the coolant passages, and it can leak to the outside where you can see it dripping on the floor, or it can leak to the inside where it's mixing with the oil. Catastrophic. It's a nuclear event. I didn't know what was happening. Now, like I said, going forward, I'm going to be extremely violently cautious about my oil and coolant levels and all those things. I'm sure one day it'll eventually fade, but my paranoia. But I will always check my oil. Before I start a vehicle, I can't even think about it. I'm just thinking every morning I'm checking it. Every afternoon I'm checking it. That's definitely that's definitely what's gonna happen after I rebuild this motor. 100%. I don't want to get into it now, but the journey of tearing apart a motor, I don't know if you could tell, but I look like I'm in an army military setup here. I'm not in a driveway. I'm in some leased, I am renting a lot inside of industrial yard. And $125 a month, but I had to do it. So, the events of getting a motor, if you want to do this yourself, if you don't want to do this yourself and you have $3,500, in overall total it cost me about $3,500, $1,500 in labor, and that is cheap labor. That's Lynn, Massachusetts labor. That's very good labor, okay? I'm sure in other places it's probably much cheaper. Not much, but I'm sure it could be cheaper other places, but from where I'm from, Massachusetts, the closer you get to the cities, and Lynn is a city, you're just going to get more and more and more money. But even in Lynn, it's going to be more than $1,500. I just so happen to have people that, otherwise are about $2,000. They are $2,000. This is not a big, giant, fancy shop, okay? $1,500 labor, if you can find it. The motor, a replacement motor, okay, is going to cost you $1,600, whichever way you swing it. AutoZone, $1,620 to be exact. That is the cost of I'm sorry, I don't know what you're driving, but for a Chevy 305, Chevy 350, you're looking at $1,599 plus tax. That's jegs.com, summitracing.com, xp-something.com, XP1, I think. And Advanced Auto Parts is maybe $50 more or something. And whoever else. So, AutoZone, if I didn't mention them. But AutoZone, I can tell you the grand total is $16.19 and change at the register. Okay? The good thing about AutoZone and Advanced Auto is you don't have to pay any shipping charge. You don't have to deal with cores. I don't know about the core, but it's coming. It'll be delivered right to the store. I don't know. I'm telling you like as if you're getting a motor, but